dreams. So we tell our stories and lift each other, give hope to push us further, and encourage one another. Behind the scenes,
Kandi Burruss is a force of nature, starting out with a multi-award-winning music career, as well as a songwriting career that is one to be reckoned with, penning hits like Bills, Bills, Bills for Destiny's Child and No Scrubs for TLC, just to name a few. Kandi's path led her to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, where her transparent spirit would lead her to be a mainstay in the franchise, and the longest-running cast member since her appearance in 2009. Kandi showed her entrepreneurial skills by launching Bedroom Kandi, Blaze Steakhouse, and the infamous OLG restaurant that is now a spin-off show. Kandi's amazing personality led her to 6 spin-off shows: The Kandi Factory, Kandi's Wedding, Kandi Coated Nights, Kandi's Ski Trip, Xscape Still Kicking It, and her latest, OLG Gang. Kandi shared her talents in acting on Showtime's The Chi, as well as becoming a 2-time Broadway producer. Kandi is a testament that you can do anything you want if you just believe. All right, so we have with us, this young lady is gonna tell us how we rise above all the drama. The drama. She's an entrepreneur. She is a reality star. She's an actor. She's a talk show host. She's a lot of things. We have with us Kandi Burruss. Thank you so much, Kandi.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. I feel like when I look at your life, I'm tired.
What?
I'm tired because I don't know how you do all that you do. I mean, for real.
Yeah, I stay on the go. I mean, that's no doubt in that. I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of dreams, a lot of goals, and I'm just trying to make them happen like everybody else.
I feel like you have accomplished about 998 of them. I mean, you've acted on The Chi. You've recently been hosting Ellen while she's been away at times.
I got one episode. I don't want to make it seem like I've been her regularly.
That was still to even be able to do that and for her to think that's huge.
That was very big for me. I was super excited about that. It was like wow, like a wow moment.
Yeah.
You know
how did that even come about?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I can really tell how it came about.
Well, we won't even get into it. Then we'll skip over.
I'm working on some things with somebody. We prefer we keep it to ourselves until it comes
further
together.
notice. That's what's up. Okay. So you were doing that. Now you have 2 shows. You're continually doing Housewives of Atlanta. But not only that, you have the OLG Gang. I mean...
Yes.
That don't make you tired. Then you got 3 kids.
Yes. Well, 4.
And a husband. Well, yes.
I have my bonus daughter, Kayla. She's the oldest. I got Riley.
Yes.
I got Blaze and Ace.
Yes.
And my husband, Todd. My mama.
Right.
And then the whole gang. Kandi and the gang. Like you said, we got our whole show now which is a big thing. I think that's the thing that I'm most excited about right now, to be honest with you. Yes. And I think it's because, you know how when you're doing stuff and everybody around you is supporting you, pushing you and everything, but now you have this opportunity to like kind of shine the spotlight on them.
Other people, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm very big on my whole team being able to come up with me, you know, and sometimes it takes time.
Right.
You know, we all have to put in our time until it's like, okay, now it's here. The fruit can feed off for everybody. You know, everybody can benefit from this machine that we've been working on, you know, and so right now, like with my cousins being able to shine through the show, you know, my aunts, my mom, you know, Don Juan. Now, Don Juan is on the show. He's also a producer on the show, which is awesome. You know what I mean? Because, you know, for so long, you know, he's been putting in his work in, but now he's getting the actual credits to go along with, you know, knowing the fact that he has been helping, but it's like now he's getting his justice, so it's good.
So it's long overdue.
Yeah, my husband, obviously, you know, we a tag team, you know, so all of that good stuff.
Okay, so we normally go a little bit over your whole career because you've had a very vast career. You started out in music. I mean, like again, I get tired. I sit here and I think about it. I forget you're a songwriter. I mean,
yeah.
So with music, how did that come about? Did you always know you were destined for fame? Did you always see the vision of being in a group?
That's always like a tough question to say for me, just because. Okay, first of all, it was so long ago, child. But
can I say
for
you
me,
haven't aged a bit and you look amazing. So
well, thank you.
Let's go.
It's my childhood,
okay.
really. My group, we got together when I went to Tri-Cities High School of Visual and Performing Arts. Shout out to y'all. Is where I met my group members. Mm-hmm. Well, Tiny didn't go there, but Tasha and Tamika went there, and we used to also have another member, my bestie Tamara. Uh-huh. We call her Tan. I met them when I went to the school. Mm-hmm. And obviously, started out being friends first, singing at all the talent shows. And then I remember back then it was funny because I connected with Tamika Scott first at the school. Mm-hmm. Well, Tan and I was in the same performing arts program. But Tamika and Tasha, they just went to the school. They wasn't actually in the performing arts program.
Gotcha.
But I remember one day skipping class for the first time. I was skipping lunch. At lunch, you just don't go to your lunch class. You just stay at all 3 lunch breaks. So I decided to do this for the first time, and I'm in the hallway, and I'm meeting Tamika, who's also skipping the class. Uh-huh. And that's how we connected, and from there we became really tight. I was going to their house all the time. We started going to church together, and
Did you used to sing in church and stuff too?
Yeah,
okay.
We was all singing at church together.
Okay.
I was a freshman at the time. Tamika Scott was a sophomore, and Tasha was a senior. And I remember then people used to be like, "Oh, y'all need to be a group together." And I was like, "Come on, y'all, let's be a group." And Tasha did not want to do it with us at first because she had already been in a group before, and I guess things didn't go how she wanted them to go. And then plus, she kind of looked at us like, they younger than me. I ain't got time to be in a group with them,
Right.
So the funny thing was, I guess, a few months into this, Tan, my other friend who I was close with, she's like, her mom was like, doesn't Kandi sing? Tell her to come with you to this audition. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna roll with them.
Right.
I go to this audition, and Tasha and Tamika there for a girl group. And I'm like, I thought y'all said y'all ain't want to be in a group, Anyway, so these women that was putting on the group, I guess they had worked with Tasha and Tamika before. Uh-huh. And they decided it was going to make 2 groups at first. Mm-hmm. It was going to be the older teenage group and then the younger teenage group. Okay. So it was, Tasha was put in the group with some of her friends that was seniors with her in high school, whatever. And then me, Tamika, and Tan were also put in the group together. We was like 14, 15. So, we was like, okay, this is what we doing.
Right.
Man, an audition came up to perform for L.A. Reid's brother at the time. And the lady decided overnight she was taking Tasha out of that group and putting her with us 3 and making just one group with all of us. So
was y'all's original name Xscape?
No.
What was y'all's original?
We have gone through a million names. We was in a club. We had a club which was lightweight, a gang. Okay. But we was in a club called Touche.
Okay.
Tasha actually started it was like a whole clique of us from school, whatever. And so for a minute, we called the ones of us in the group that was singing the Sounds of Touche.
Okay.
No. Then somebody has convinced us to do, what was it? Oh, we was trying to do this thing where we were covering our faces all the time and had a hoodie. So then it was Atlanta's Best Kept Secret.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I can't remember. We went through a couple more names, but finally, Tasha actually came up with the name Xscape because she was like, "We gonna escape from all stereotypes and something like that." So we rolled with it. We was like, "Okay, cool, it's Xscape now."
Okay. So of course, the group has massive success and it goes through all its trials and stuff, and then you went solo for a moment, right?
Yeah, it's always funny to me when people say you went solo. It wasn't intentional.
Okay.
Our group had started falling apart. Obviously, girl groups, issues with girl groups. Anyway, and one of our other group members she was actually going solo. And so it was like one of those moments where I had to figure out something to do.
Right.
I was like, oh, I got to come up with something. At first, it was supposed to be Tiny and I.
Okay.
We were going to try to do a duo project. And with that being said, I had told her, I was like, hey, we need to start writing our own demos and writing our own songs so that when we present this idea to the label, they hear the sound, they know what we're trying to do. Because, if you try to come with them with a different idea that they're not going for, sometimes people automatically will tell you no.
Yeah.
So, and plus, I wanted us to have more control in our next situation because in our previous situation, although, we wrote little bits here and there, we weren't really the creators of the actual songs and music, right? So I wanted her and I to have, real control in our next situation. So that's what we did. We started going in the studio, and it was actually during the time while the third album was being made, because we knew that the one member was going to be going solo after the third album was put out. So I was like, okay, we got to figure out something so we ain't broke and not making no money.
Right.
So we started working on this project. So No Scrubs was one of the songs that we had did for ourselves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tiny and I, we did our demo. It was on our demo tape. And somebody played it for L.A. Reid. And he wanted the song for TLC. So I was like, let him have it.
Right.
Because, at that time in my mind, I feel like I can write another one, we good. We gonna have some more songs.
Gotcha.
We had a lot of really good songs, to be honest with you. No Scrubs was a great song. But I feel like at that time, and I lost a lot of those songs that we did. But we had some really...
What do you mean you lost them? Where did they go? You just
Well, back then we were doing stuff. You would leave it with a tape or or a burnt CD, CD. It wasn't on a hard drive. It wasn't. We didn't email it to each other.
Right, so you could pull it from the cloud.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. So a lot of old music, if you can't find those old CDs or
stuff,
a lot of times you have CDs you didn't even write the name on it. You don't even know
exactly.
You just
knew it was a color. It was a pink CD.
Yeah, so it's I cannot tell you where some of those songs are, but Tiny and I had some really good songs. I would say that, and it was funny because our manager at the time was like, yeah, because when we played them No Scrubs for the first time, he was like, yeah, we like it, but it's not as good as y'all other songs. That's how they were. Yeah. Believe that, right? That's shocking. But yeah, no, so that song kicked off the writing part of the career, But anyway, I'm trying to get you to how I end up going solo.
Right.
So anyway, Tiny and I presented to the label at the time, which Jermaine's dad was over at he was over Urban Music, Columbia Records. And he basically didn't see the vision for what we was trying to do as a duo. And he was just like, either you do a solo project or I could just hold y'all and sit on y'all. Because he was like, I'm not going to allow the two of you to go elsewhere to get a deal, because that's like giving away Xscape.
Right.
Because she was visually the most popular. Right. If you see her on the street,
who Tiny
and
was.
he's like, vocally, my voice was the most recognizable. He's like, I'm not allowing y'all to leave and do a duo somewhere else.
Right.
So it was like, okay, I can't just sit around and go broke, friend.
Right.
And
did that cause any tension between y'all two? It
did. For a while, our friendship wasn't. And I feel bad about it. I regret that. How you have certain regrets. I did have a whole regret about that situation. But at the same time, I understand why I did, because, it ain't gonna help if neither one of us have a lifeline to make something else happen for us. You know what I mean? So, and at the time, I know this sounds stupid. It may sound stupid to other people. I had just bought my house the year before. And now, was it a year before? It was it was something around that time. Because I was 19 when I bought my house. You know, I ain't pay it off. I put money down on it. And then all of a sudden, you know, we had an issue with the group, and I'm like, what the fuck, I'm gonna keep paying for this
house.
you know what I'm saying? And so, like, I was in a situation where I'm like, okay, after this third album, there's not going to be another Xscape album coming after this.
Right.
And he's not really saying he's gonna do what we want to do, which is our duo project.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to do something. And, you know, it did hurt the friendship for a little while. It did. But, you know, clearly you can see we back.
Yeah, y'all tighter than ever, it looks like.
Yeah, we're good. But for a while it did, like, for a few years, like, we wasn't really communicating the way we used to.
So, the writing aspect of your career, you feel like that was more of a stumble upon? Because did you have intentions of being a writer?
I always wanted to write.
Okay.
I always wanted to write. Like, even with the group, I used to always ask Jermaine, like, hey, you know, let me write. Can I write? You know, and then I think, like, a couple times he'd be like, okay, you know, but it'll only be like, he already started the foundation of the song, meaning maybe he already came up with the concept, he already wrote the hook, and he may, like, let us contribute to a verse.
Yeah.
Or let us contribute, you know, it was like little stuff. But for me, I wanted to be able to, like, really come up with the song from scratch, or, you know, contribute in a major way to the song. So I didn't really get to do that until, you know, obviously doing things, going to the studio outside of what we was doing as a group. And then when Tanya and I did our thing, you know, we got that song placed. But the thing about it was, when Tanya and I really started working on our project, that's when we started working with different producers outside of So Def, obviously, and building our relationships with producers
to be able
to be writers. You know what I mean? And at the time, I think I was also managing Jagged Edge.
Oh wow!
Yes.
I don't think I knew you was a manager too.
Child, that was short-lived.
Oh my God!
Short-lived.
Look at you.
Short-lived. I don't want to jump all around, but I have to tell you this. So I went to high school with Richard Wingo in the group.
Okay.
And I remember our group Xscape, we had went to see the Lady of Soul Awards. Do you remember that back in the day?
Yes.
Okay, we went to the Lady of Soul Awards, and Queen Latifah, who I look up to so much, like, Queen Latifah is up here to me.
Right.
But anyway, we saw her win the Sammy Davis Jr. Award.
Okay.
And when I tell you, she inspired me so much from that. And so basically, to be clear, the way you won the Sammy Davis Jr. Award, you had to be a person who did, like, a whole bunch of multiple things in the industry and was successful at them. So at the time, Queen Latifah had the management company.
Yeah.
Remember, for a while, she was managing, like, Monica and all these people. Then she had her production company that was doing TV and film and stuff. She was a rapper. Yeah, she was a rapper. She was an actress. She had the television show Living Single. You know, so she had all these things, and she won the Sammy Davis Jr. Award. So as I was sitting there with my group watching her win, I was like, I'm gonna get that award. So I looked at Tanya, I was like, I'm gonna get that award one day. And she was like, okay, Kandi. But immediately, when I went home the very next day, from watching that award show, I went home and I said, okay, what can I do to be like Queen Latifah? I said, she managed people. I can manage people.
Right.
I was like, I called Richard. I said, hey, you still got that group that you was singing with? He was like, yeah. I said, okay, come over to my house. I'm gonna manage y'all. So I met with him the next day. I started, me and actually Zebo was Zanique's dad.
Okay.
He and we decided to make he was a Taurus and I was a Taurus, so we decided to make a management company together.
Okay.
And we managed Jagged Edge, got them their record deal at So Def.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and boom.
Come on.
Yeah, but then, you know, it fell apart, but we did a great thing.
We did it.
We did it. Jagged Edge blew up, right?
Yes, they sure did, and with some classic hits that'll last forever.
Exactly, so I started off good in the management. I realized it was too much for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think it was also too much for me because it was right around the time my own group started having our major issues. So, you know how you be stressed out and, you know, I can't deal with all of this.
All of it's too much.
Yeah, it was too much. Mind you, I was 19, 20 years old when all this was happening.
Okay, gotcha.
Too much. Anyway, so, but back to the music part. So being around them, obviously they were excellent writers. Being around them, picking up styles from them, picking up things from just being in the group, being around Jermaine, you know, developing my own writing style or whatever. When Tiny and I was working with different people, we connected with Shakespeare, who also was kind of a new producer at the time.
Okay.
And when we did No Scrubs, you know, obviously he was like, okay, well, let's do some more music together. And because at that time, I was like on my grind. I was like, I got to figure it out. I got to make me some money.
Right.
So I wanted to go to the studio all the time. And Tiny.
So quick question, prior to that, did you understand the business of being a songwriter? Like that's where the money is? Or did
you know, I had heard it, but I didn't really understand it until I started getting those checks. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I'm naturally a person who wants to have control.
Gotcha.
I want to be able to control situations creatively, and that's something I'm good at. I always felt like I was a good songwriter. I was always good at doing melodies. Even when we first started as kids, there was some producers that, well, one of them was like friends with my brother or whatever, but I used to go to their house and just make melodies to their tracks or whatever. And they used to always, you know, be like, hey, you just keep working and you're gonna, you know, be, matter of fact, my publishing company, the guy used to always call me Candace, and I hated that. Because my birth name is Kandi on my birth certificate. But I'd be like, why are you calling me that?
Right.
And he was like, one day you're gonna say, it's gonna be an award for the best song. And I can say, and the award goes to Candace. And I was like, oh. And I remember when I needed a publishing company name, you know, you have to give them like 3 names to get approved or whatever. And the other 2 names that I really wanted didn't work. But Candace went through, and I was like, damn. So anyway, if you see my publishing name is Candace Music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And some people actually think that that's my real name and that my name is short for Candace. No.
Oh, okay.
Or they'll be like, it's Candace. And then I'm like, no, he said Candace. But in my mind, I'm like, it's like Candace. This girl is on something.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
Okay.
But to go back to it, I started consistently working with Shakespeare. And it was on from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you end up in reality TV? How did?
Oh, that's a long jump.
Is it? Because what was happening in between?
I mean, I was writing songs for a while.
How long were you writing songs?
Oh, for years. Like, the career took off as a songwriter in the beginning of the 2000s. You know, what was that, 99, 2000, 2001, that whole little era. I had my daughter in 2002.
Okay.
So I think...
Ooh, that makes me feel old.
Yeah, Riley is...
I graduated in 96, so...
I graduated in 94.
Okay.
I'm older than you.
Barely, though.
I'm older than you.
Barely, though.
We won't talk about it.
We won't. We'll let it go.
Yeah, but Riley came along.
Okay.
So I had a recording studio at my house at that point because I wanted to focus on being a good mom and whatever. So I built the studio out back in my backyard so I wouldn't have to always be away from home. So I wasn't writing as much, but I did do stuff here and there. Yeah, so I was more so behind the scenes because I wasn't really being an artist at that time.
Did you have a thirst to be an artist again, or were you content with
I went
being
through
behind
these
the
moments.
scenes? Okay.
So there was a time when Tiny and I linked back up again, and we had talked about doing a project together again. We had started working on newer songs. Okay. Which even to this day, I be telling Tiny, now some of those we still have.
Right.
And those songs are banging.
Right.
And I be telling her, yo, like, we should just drop these songs. Like, why are we sitting on our hard drive catching dust?
Right.
Like, we can update some of these and
Yeah.
just let people have it, whatever, because it's a different time now. You could just release your own music or whatever. But, yeah, we had thought about doing it again, so we had worked on some things, and that's when Riley was like a baby. And then, for whatever reason, I don't know, we stopped working on that. Then, so I just went back to my same old. And then Rashida and I had started working on a project. Okay. It was called Peach Candy. And I loved that project, for real, still to this day. It was different. It was different. But we never officially dropped that one either. And shortly thereafter,
I know songs are like babies and you can never choose between any of them. But out of your catalog of songs that you wrote, which one has the most special place in your heart?
ooh. A lot of times
Did I ask
say,
you something nobody ever asked you before?
No, people ask me
okay,
that all the
okay.
time. I mean, I always say, yeah. I always say no scrubs just simply because it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Gotcha.
Like, it's been sampled the most, so it's basically been recreated into more songs.
Gotcha.
And, yeah, I mean, it's made the most money.
Gotcha.
But, I mean, one of the songs that means the most to me, I guess, would be It Gets Easier, which is a song that I wrote about my brother, the passing of my brothers, or whatever. I wrote that a long time ago. With Tiny, we did that together. That one probably means the most.
Gotcha.
You know? You know, sometimes the song that means the most to you is not the one that brings you the most success.
True.
You know, it just means the most to you.
Gotcha. Okay.
But so I guess that's what that is for me.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So you're sitting in Atlanta being a writer and someone says, you know who would be great for Atlanta Housewives? Kandi Burruss. Is that what happened?
Kinda. But not. Okay, so back to I was chilling.
Minding your business.
Minding my own business, doing good for myself, royalties still good, you know, very comfortable where I was at.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then Tiny reached out to me because she wanted to put together a talk show.
Okay.
She had a group of girls that she was trying to do it with, and she really felt like I would be good to do this with them.
Okay.
So it was Tiny, Sawyer Wright, and a young lady named Joy, who she's also Life Jennings' child's mom.
Okay.
Okay. So clearly with the three of them, they all had children with high-profile men. Obviously, T.I. was T.I. doing his thing. Then Toya, obviously, Lil Wayne, you know, was big, and Life Jennings was, you know, doing his thing. I was the only one in the circle who didn't necessarily have a significant other who was high profile, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so it really wasn't about that.
Right.
It was more so she wanted me to just be a part of what they was doing with this talk show. But then, as they were having conversations with a producer, James DuBose, and BET, because they wanted to bring the idea to BET, and it changed into, okay, well, we could maybe do a talk show later, but it was turning into this reality TV thing. So mind you, I have to say this because I don't think I would have been as open-minded to doing reality TV if I didn't have this situation with Tiny first.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? Like, she kind of opened my mind to it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was sitting at home like, ooh, I need to be on a reality TV show.
Right.
You know, I had watched Real Housewives that first season. I liked it, but it's not like I saw myself being on there. So anyway, I said that to say, during the time of, you know, when they started having the talks with BET and James DuBose, whatever, Derek J, who was also my friend, reached out to me and said, girl, the Real Housewives is looking for new housewives, honey, and I told them to call you because they need somebody with their own money. That's exactly what he said to me. And I was like, yeah, no. I was like, I was like, no, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm already working on something. And he was like, well, I'm going to tell them to call you anyway. That's what he said. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Literally, the couple days later, James DuBose decided he did not want Joy and I on the show. He just wanted it to be Tiny and Toya. So that's what ended up being the Tiny and Toya show.
Okay.
So, you know, I was disappointed, but I was just like, you know, it was their thing from the jump, so I wasn't really taking it to heart like that. I was just like, okay, well, you know, it wasn't meant to be. And then the next week, the people from the Housewives called me. And I was like, they was like, could they meet with me? I was like, okay, cool. I met with them and it was on from there. And I just feel like everything happens for a reason.
It does. And can I say, you are amazing for it, because out of all of them, every person that's ever been on that show, I don't know about other franchises, but out of Atlanta Housewives, I feel like you're the only one that entered into it and committed to it. I feel like everybody
What you
else,
mean?
because I feel like everybody else has went into it and sort of tried to guide the way their life is looked at.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you are the only one that's like, this is it. And what you get is what you gonna get, and take it how you get it. Like,
well, that is true.
I feel like everybody else has tried to manipulate how they want it to be perceived, but I felt like you've been the most honest. That's why you're actually one of my favorite, because,
Thank you.
and probably the reason why you've had so much longevity on there, because, and why you ventured out. People have tried to disclaim why you would get why you would have a spinoff when others didn't get a spinoff, but it was because you've been the most transparent and the most honest and upfront, and what really reality TV is really all about.
Well, thank you. I agree with what you're saying as far as like, it is a lot of people who care more about their brand and is always having these brand conversations and are always trying to produce themselves on TV, basically. I always kind of come into it with the approach of, okay, look, it's reality TV. Real is the first part of it. You have to give the people the real of what's going on. When you try to edit yourself, to me, it just don't never go right. You know, eventually they're gonna, and now, you know, in these last couple of years, honey, they don't even allow you to get away with the fake, honey. They will put the off-camera stuff on camera so people see what you're really doing. You know?
Yeah.
People been getting caught up like that lately. So it's better just to be like, it is what it is. They gonna get what they get.
Right.
And for me, the only thing that I definitely feel that I purposely tried to do, and that was mainly coming into season 2, because I felt like in season 1, they got so much of craziness happening in my life, you know, with the old engagement and my mama going back and forth with AJ at the time. And then, unfortunately, he passed away, and it was just all that stuff. And I just felt like, you know, the money ain't adding up to this fame and craziness that's happening over here.
Right.
And I went into this show thinking like that they wasn't really gonna change my life like that. I thought like, okay, I already been on TV. Like, this ain't really gonna do nothing for me. That's what I was thinking. So I was just going into it like,
Right.
Okay, it's something to do.
Right.
But then I realized, okay, actually they have really opened up my fan base. The whole that I wasn't even expecting.
Right.
Like I wasn't even expecting that. So I was just like, okay, I don't really care about being popular. That is not my thing. I like this bag need to start matching this popularity.
I want to know, how did you get there? Because you consistently have this business mind. Everything is like, where does that come from? Because you didn't go to school for business,
No, I didn't go to school for business, none of that. But my mom always put in my head since a young age. Like, first of all, I've always been a saver and very much about my money since a kid. Like, I was that kid that I used to save up from nothing, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. My brother was older than me, and I used to have to loan him money as a kid, you know. So I just was always like that. And then my mom always was like, oh, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because she was scared that I would be one of those child stars that end up financially
broke.
So that was always a fear. So I used to read like financial books and help books to tell you how to invest your money or how to, you know, all those things. The Millionaire Next Door and all those Think and Grow Rich, all those books when I was reading those when I was 17.
Oh, wow.
So I just had a different thought process.
Gotcha.
And as I gotten a little older, you know, that's why it was very important for me to spread out and not just be concerned about being an artist. I wanted to be a manager. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to always feel like I never wanted it to be about my ego. I always wanted it to be about I can make money in any section of the room. So it's not, I don't care about you can shine. I can make you shine, but as long as I got success from making you shine, I'm still winning.
Yeah.
So like I was always very cool with that. Like it didn't bother me to give a hit record away because I'm like, I'm still winning.
Yeah.
So as long as I can find myself in a position where I can still financially be good and maintain myself and never go backwards, then that was always the goal. Now, when I got in this situation, it was like so much craziness, and so I couldn't just do my regular same old.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, so I got to find some things that benefit from this.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, okay.
Because how many businesses have you started since? Because there's Bedroom Kandi, there's
Kandi Coated Cosmetics, there's tags. Oh, you know, I've done the play. I did the Dungeon Tour. I did the
OLG.
The restaurants is the main thing. I got multiple restaurants at this point, and then obviously I got real estate stuff, and I got some other things that not necessarily broadcasted.
Right.
You know, and then I got a whole bunch of plans and things that's gonna happen going forward.
Okay, quick question.
What?
Because Richie Sky from he does a podcast.
Yeah, I like him.
Yes. He told me to ask you this. Have you ever had a business venture that failed? And if you did, what did you learn from that?
Ooh. Yes.
Okay.
I've had a couple.
Give us one.
Well, okay. I mean, I'll give you two.
We'll take it too.
Okay, so like with our first musical, the play that we did, they showed it happen on the TV show or whatever.
Baby, she hadn't been so open. I wouldn't be here dealing with you right now. Whoa.
When we did it and produced it ourselves, it was a success in Atlanta. Like the weekend, all the tickets sold and all of that. But at the time, we were too scared to take it upon ourselves and try to tour it across country because we had never done anything where we promoted ourselves across country. I'd only done things that were promoted in Atlanta. So we just decided, we was like, okay, well, the only way it'll work is if we find a promoter to do it. So we found a promoter to do it. There were a lot of decisions that were made that Todd was like, no, we shouldn't be doing this. We should not be doing that. It's top heavy budget, because you know he's a budget guy.
Yeah.
He's like, this is not gonna work. It ended up not working.
Right.
It ended up having to shut the show down after only like 1 week on the road or 2 weeks. And I was devastated. Because at the end of the day, I am the one who looks like a failure. Nobody looks at the promoter. Nobody looks at it. I'm the one that's like, oh, she had a tour that fell apart or shut down.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I learned from that situation was we need to stay in control. We need to, you know, see it all the way through and not get it to a certain point and just let it go to that person and think they're gonna have it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work like that. We need to see it all the way through, you know, stay on top of things, you know, and stop thinking that somebody else just gonna have it. Like, you know, no.
Gotcha.
So that was one thing. And then the other thing that I feel like I dropped the ball on was Raising Ace, which was a kid's product line.
Okay.
That I was doing, you know, that we were doing when our son was only a baby or whatever. The products were amazing, but we did not do the marketing and the promotions that we needed to do for it. I don't know why we didn't. I don't know if we had got so used to, things just work. You can just post it on social media. No.
Right.
We needed to do more, and we did not.
Gotcha.
So I feel like, yeah.
Okay. So you're on the show. It's taken off. It's doing better than what you ever could have imagined. What has been clearly your business ventures has been one of the most positive things, probably. Give me something very positive that you've gotten from being on reality TV and something that you feel like is a negative of being on the show.
Are we talking about business-wise or just period?
Just period. Just being on the franchise.
Okay. The positive thing is that you have people who really, it's people out there who really, really, truly love you from watching your life and relate to you through the show and who support you. People that you've never met in your life.
Right. That
just because they relate to your story or some kind of way they connect to you and they love you and they want to support you. That is the best thing in the world that comes from being a part of the show, to me. To have people genuinely want to be a part of what you're doing and support you.
Right.
Support is like, that's the best thing in the world, you know what I mean? Especially if you're an ideas person.
Yeah.
If you're an ideas person, if you're a business person, and you genuinely have like, you know, a whole bunch of people out there who really root for you. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
That means everything.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Another great thing is that I'm able to share this opportunity with my family. My friends are able to benefit from it, you know? Meeting Todd and being able to make this family that we have is the best thing I've had happen in my life. You know what I mean? Realistically.
And prove that he wasn't part of the plot to bring you to the beach. I've been waiting all day to do that.
He never got no pictures. He was telling you a story, Mama.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the booze.
Yeah, do the spin. You ain't spin out your chair.
I know, but chair don't spin. I wanted to do it, but yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, now we've been married for 8 years.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And you know what though? Y'all are so fit because y'all have such a yin and yang to you guys relationship.
Yeah, that's the craziest part, child, because before I met Todd, honey, I had never dated anybody longer than 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, I did not believe in dating anybody, period. I don't care, longer than 2 years. In 2 years, I should know. And I only dated 2 people for 2 years. In my mind, I know whether or not I really want to spend the rest of my life with somebody in 2 years. And you really know in the first 6 to 8 months if you really want to deal with them. A lot of people, you just be like, oh, I don't want to feel like I wasted this time, so you keep making it work.
Right.
You hear people be like, oh, we've been making it work. No, child, that means you supposed to drop them a long time ago. So with this situation, I just feel like, wow, like to be married for 8 years, together for 10, because, you know, we was together for 2 years before the actual wedding. Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay. All right.
The bad.
Yes, you were going to say the bad.
The bad is, just as much as you have people who love you, there's a lot of people that hate you because
But do you have that many haters? I feel like I feel like you have the least.
You do? I look at social hate. I mean, listen to me, social hate. Social media.
I don't see that many people hating on you.
What?
I really don't.
Child, you don't be looking at the blogs, apparently.
Every now and again, I might hear something random, but I don't ever really hear nobody running you down.
Please, there's so many people that be online like, I can't stand her, and I wish they just get rid of her. Why she still on there? She need to go.
No.
What?
Oh my God.
How
Okay.
you missing this?
I'm clearly.
I guess because they don't tag you in it.
That's what it is. They tag you in it to make sure you know.
Right.
Okay. So you've been on the show. You've had a slew of castmates on that show. Who is someone that, if you had the opportunity to bring back on the show, you would bring back?
Well, I love Cynthia. So she's always somebody that I feel like was underappreciated on this show. The reason why I say that is because she's had so much good story. Every year she got story. But people always be trying to like act like she's not bringing anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she brought us 2 weddings.
Right.
She brought us a divorce. She brought us friendship contracts.
Right.
She brought us a kick across a boat.
Right.
She brought us all kinds of stuff. Like y'all sitting up here she's the most underrated person who's been here. Like she really brought a lot to the show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But people always try to treat her like she didn't. I do not agree with that statement.
Gotcha.
So definitely would say Miss Cynthia Bailey. But I also, there's a couple people who were here for short periods of time that I didn't feel like got to just try.
Right.
Like, that doggone, everybody hated on LaToya last year, but I feel like she was good TV. She trended every Sunday night.
Oh, right.
She is hilarious
Oh, yeah,
in
I'm
person.
surprised they didn't bring her back.
She is so funny. Another person that I didn't feel like people really got a chance to really get to know her was Shamari.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like her marriage with Ronnie DeVoe and, she's just funny.
Right.
I just feel like they should have gave her at least another year.
Right. What about Claudia?
Oh, Claudia, honey, she was reading people down. I definitely feel like Claudia was definitely good for the reads. I think it's just, because we didn't get enough of her personal story.
Gotcha.
I think that's the problem. We didn't get the opportunity to see what was going on in her personal life.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I felt like, and that's because she had just moved to Atlanta. She didn't really show like her relationship or home life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like with LaToya, unfortunately for her, she was going through a divorce at that time, but her husband didn't want to be on television. So that's what happened. It backfired for her. But I felt like that, if he would have allowed that to be seen, because her mom is interesting.
Yeah.
Their whole situation is interesting. He's a really cool guy too. Him and Todd, they still cool. Yeah, it's always weird to me, like when me and Todd make connections with people who end up being on the show, and then they break up, and then we be sitting up here like, damn, like how we gonna? It's too much going on.
Okay, so you picked up acting a little bit. You also did a Lifetime movie as well, right? You did a Lifetime movie. You did The Shy.
Yep.
So is there more acting? Do you want to continue acting?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Was acting always something you had an interest in doing?
Yes. I actually was in performing arts high school for drama.
Oh, okay. So
it wasn't even for music. I was there for, musical theater, but it was drama.
Right,
you know what I mean? That was my main thing that I did. I was in the youth ensemble of Atlanta.
Okay.
So, yeah, I did a lot of acting.
So were you fearful of venturing out? Were you scared of how people were going to view you going into these roles, especially on The Shy, because The Shy is such a gritty show?
Yeah.
Did you fear that people wouldn't be able to separate you from Kandi, the housewife, into your role on The Shy?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was waiting for a role like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I was just hoping that one day I would get the opportunity to show myself as whoever the character was, and not Kandi.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want it to be like, so I love the fact that Rosalind is somewhat of a bad guy, I guess, on the show a little bit. Like, I'm married to the guy that's the bad guy on the show, and, it's like, it's interesting. The whole story between them is crazy. So I was excited about it, and I knew that I was going to be able to bring it, and that I was going to be able to do my part. I was just hoping that people would enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about OLG, because Richie Scott also gave me another question about that too. He had a lot of stuff.
See. Okay,
I was
Richie.
like, I said, bring me up to speed, because I know you are the aficionado. So I asked him everything. He wanted to know, why haven't you fired the hostess yet? What's her name?
Shadrika?
Yes. He said, why have you not fired Shadrika yet?
I tell people all the time that during COVID, it was really hard to get employees, even up to now. It's hard. A lot of people are not coming to work. So the restaurant industry suffered more than any other industry. I don't want to say any other, because all industries are suffering from lack of employees right now. I'm sure you've seen signs at different places you've gone to saying that, they looking for people and all that stuff. So for us, during the time of these last couple of years, especially when it first started, it was hard to even keep the door open, not because we didn't want to pay people, it was because people just weren't coming to work.
Yeah.
So a lot of our day ones, what I call them, people who was with us from the beginning, who stuck with us through all of that, I have a loyalty to them. And yes, people, you know, oh, Chandrika was talking trash about y'all, but I feel like, okay, come on, y'all. Like, let's be clear. We have cameras in the restaurant, and people, if you can be mad about something, you may vent about somebody that you cool with, not saying that you was ever gonna plan to take it back to them or whatever, but you venting, you mad right now. Right. And if somebody put a camera in that room, like some of the things that you said, of course you wouldn't have said if you felt like, you know, you wouldn't have wanted to do that, or you probably would have taken it back if you knew they were gonna be listening to you. So I don't really, even though of course I didn't like what she had to say, but I didn't hold it to heart so dearly, because I'm like, people vent when they're angry.
And you've probably learned that from being on reality TV about how when you say something and time change or
later on you don't feel the same way or whatever.
Right.
So anyway, she's gotten better, and you know, it is what it is. She one of our day ones. I'm gonna give her a little bit more grace than I give to other people.
Okay. And he also gave me this question. How do you feel about your cousin's engagement?
He was trying to talk to me for like 2.5 years at least.
At least you were persistent. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, she was a little challenging.
She looked on your page and was like, oh, okay, he did, so I'm gonna have to treat him like this.
Yeah, she thought I was a hoe.
I thought he was a trick. I was just like, okay, he a trick. He can give me a massage or whatever.
Patrick. I'm gonna support him or whatever he want to do, right? Okay. I like Safari. Okay. I love the fact, see, a lot of people, well, you got to see a little bit that she has her own business. Okay. She's actually really successful. She's doing her thing, which, you know, you also, you don't want nobody who's gonna be taken from your family or whatever. So I love the fact that she does bring something to the table. You know, she's smart. She has her own business. She's doing well in life, and she's an attractive girl, you know. But I just didn't like the control that it seemed like she had on his personality. Like, he was totally changing. Like, I was like, I know people change when they get in relationships, but you're doing the most. Okay. But, yeah, so as long as he's happy, I'm going to be supportive.
Okay. So I also want to talk about Speak On It.
Speak On It. What? You still see all this blackness under this eye?
Yeah, that's the look. It's called the smoky look.
Charles, more than smoky. He look like I've been doing something that I ain't need to be. Oh, child. What's up, Riley?
Is that how we're starting? You're not even gonna introduce me?
Okay, so would you, if someone offered you a talk show, is that something that you have interest in?
For sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you go about starting Speak On It? What made you decide to do Speak On It?
Actually, I have to give a lot of credit to Jamie. She does like all the social media stuff with me. We had started doing videos together some years. How many years it's been now, Jamie?
Probably 2017, because the first Speak On It was 2018.
Yeah. We had started doing a lot of...
Jamie is here, by the way.
Yeah, Jamie's with me. Sorry. We had started doing a lot of content and different things a while ago. And she just started making me be consistent with it. Well, I had already did, for years, I consistently did candy-coated nights.
Right.
You know. But, you know, we ended up... started, changing.
I am tired because I forgot you had candy-coated nights.
Yeah, I did that for a long time.
Oh my God.
And that was just me and my little crew.
And then you did it even on the Bravo.
Yeah, we did do it on Bravo. It didn't transition well, meaning, when the outside production once again, outside people try to do what you do.
And then too, trying to put it on a network when it's more of being able to talk freely.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the right network for that type of show, because really it's all about talking about sex and relationships. Yeah. And
you would do really well on the HBO Max now, streaming something there.
Somewhere where you could not have to
Let's talk about reviving that.
Yeah, not to be censored. It needs to be a little bit more raw.
Right.
Yeah, so it couldn't be as raw as, as we had people used to it being online. So it wasn't really the same show when it got on Bravo. I still appreciate them giving us the opportunity to do it though. Whatever. But anyway, when Jamie started working with me, we started doing content, and then she was like, okay, let's do this. And then she was like, okay, we should make it an actual thing. And started, I think it was mainly doing it after Housewives, you know, speaking on our opinion. Then we started inviting different guests to come on and doing it. And now it's just become a life of its own.
Yeah, we were talking earlier that you just did an interview with Benzino.
Yes.
Did you have to coax him into coming in to talk?
No.
Oh, he wanted to do the show.
It was so shocking because obviously it was a lot of talk about Benzino and Shauna when that leaked the call, when 50 Cent posted the thing about him and Shauna online, and obviously Zeno was not too happy.
Right.
And at first I thought he was just gonna like let it die out, and you know, because I had Don Juan to reach out to him, and I was like, see if you want to do it, you know, and Don was like, he said yes. I was like, what? I didn't think he was gonna really say yes. And then Don was like, okay, he said either he could do it tonight or he could do it this weekend.
Oh, he was on it.
Right, and I was like, damn, and I couldn't do it that night. And I was like, damn it, I should do it tonight because he's gonna change his mind by the weekend. And he did not change his mind. So I was really happy to know that, you know, he respected the platform to where he felt like it was a good place for him to speak on it.
Yeah, he said he felt like he was talking to Oprah.
Well, it made me feel good. I was like, I mean, the thing about it is, when people come on to speak on it, it's not a setup.
Right.
I mean, I guess same time people come talk to you.
Exactly.
It's not a setup. I'm not trying to make you look crazy because I know how it is. Sometimes we can all go do interviews and it's like people just really trying to get a good clickbait for their show and make you look crazy.
Yeah.
So we don't do that on Speak On It. Realistically, if we see anything that's gonna make you look too crazy, we'll take it out because overall, it's not my intent to make anybody hurt somebody. Hurt somebody's career after they do our show.
Gotcha.
Now, it was some things that he said that I kept telling him, I was like, dude, I'm taking this out. And he was like, I don't care, I'm gonna say it anyway online. I'm gonna keep saying it. And I'm like, dude, like, so we tried to take some of that stuff out, but some things he was just adamant that he wanted to say.
Right.
But overall, it's like we try to care about the person that sit in the seat. So we're gonna get the information and we're gonna do our best to not make you look crazy while getting the information.
Okay. All right, so this new season of Housewives is coming up. Actually, it airs this weekend? Is it next weekend?
Yes, this Sunday.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is the surprising troublemaker this year, do you think?
Surprise? I don't think it's a surprise.
Oh, Marlo.
Okay,
she was on.
I don't want to say it's a surprise. Okay, so let's just say there are different things that happened this year.
I give what you give to me. Now you following me?
And I think that's the cool thing about this season, that last year, and maybe the year before, I don't know, it got to the point where you were seeing the same people just arguing over and over and over again. This year, it's like different people having conflicts.
Okay.
So it's not the same conflict throughout the whole season. It's multiple situations happening.
So a quick question. So yesterday on Wendy, which she was talking to Marlo was talking to Michael Rappaport, and she said that Kenya didn't really want her to have a peach.
Do you feel like she wasn't happy for you?
She wasn't happy.
Really?
Yeah,
How can someone not be happy for you? You've been putting in such great work for years.
That's what I feel. I feel like, how are you not happy? How are you not just celebrating me? She should have threw me a peach party.
Do you think that she had been on the show long enough that she deserved the peach?
I definitely thought she needed a peach.
Yeah.
I been said Marlo should get a peach. Actually, Todd and I, we had got Marlo another show on another network a few years back. We literally got her own show.
Right.
Well, it wasn't just her show. It was still an ensemble cast, but it was based around her. And it was a whole situation. So I always felt like Marlo definitely needed to be.
Because she was good TV.
Yeah, I felt like she was good TV, but I felt like she had more story to show than what we had been seeing. You know, which I'm glad we get to see more of this year. Like for years, you've heard everybody talk about, well, not everybody, you've heard her talk about her mom. This year, we actually meet her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so that, you know, certain things that you just heard about here and there, it's like you get more of it.
Okay.
More of the backstory.
Okay. All right, so is there any more Xscape anymore? Because I think someone mentioned to me that you might have like a pickup of a second season of that show coming back.
It's some things happening with Xscape. I can't really talk about that right now.
Okay.
What I can tell you is that I'm on another TV show.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called A La Carte.
Okay.
That's the one starring Jessie Wu and Kendall.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
so it's another acting role.
Yeah, it's another acting
Okay.
role. Mm-hmm. It's coming out in a week? 2 weeks.
I'm tired. Not to mention, I don't know if people know, because I did go see you were one of the producers for a show on Broadway, which I loved. Thoughts of a Colored Man. I loved that show. Sad that it closed so early.
I'm super sad about it.
Yeah, it was so crazy because I was watching Cheryl Lee Ralph promote it, and then the next minute they was like, "Oh, tonight's the last night." I was like, "What happened?"
Yeah, I was devastated about that. First of all, I felt like for the culture, that show was everything.
Yes. Everything.
And I felt like it needed to be seen, it needed to happen on Broadway, and I'm thankful to God that it did.
Mm-hmm.
What ended up, the problem was COVID.
Yeah.
So Broadway has strict rules about COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, if you have to shut down a night for COVID, meaning if you don't have enough understudies to cover all the people who are out with COVID, then you have to automatically shut down for like 2 weeks. So it's 10 days or something like that. Which equals out to like 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
So, but at the same time, you still have to pay all your expenses and pay everybody full salary. So the show had not gotten to the level of surplus to be able to carry all those expenses.
Gotcha.
For all the COVID closing.
Yeah. I used to do Samira Wiley's hair too, so she was a producer on it too, real good friend.
Oh yeah, I love her.
I love Samira, yeah. So would you do another show on Broadway?
I'm doing another show on Broadway.
Okay, so what?
I am now a producer on The Piano Lesson.
Wait a minute, who was in that?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Danielle Brooks. You know her from
Of course.
Orange is the New Black. That's my girl.
Listen.
Oh, no. Let me say, you know her as Mahalia Jackson. Remember she played Mahalia? She was just nominated.
They about to know her from Color Purple.
Yes,
Okay.
That's my girl, Danny. And then John David Washington.
Okay.
Come on now, Denzel Washington's son. Come on, what?
His movie with Zendaya that was on Netflix. I can't remember the name, but it was amazing.
He's amazing anyway.
Yes,
He's everything. And then LaTanya Richardson Jackson.
Oh, I didn't know she was in it.
She's directing.
Come on.
Come on, somebody.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes, The Piano Lesson. So, I mean, when I tell you, I'm like, to go from it just being a dream of one day to have a little bit of something to do on Broadway to producing a show or being one of the producers. I'm not the only producer now. I'm not trying to take all the credit.
No.
But to be one of the producers of a show starring...
Your second show, though.
Yes, my
second show.
Come on, somebody.
You're making a name on that white way.
What? Thank you, Jesus. This black girl is making a name for herself on the Great White Way. Okay.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, for those of you who do not know, for many, many years, Broadway was nicknamed the Great White Way.
Okay.
And to be able to be a part of bringing shows that star black artists and talent and provide opportunity not only on stage but behind the scenes for people of color has been amazing. You know, I feel like we really did that thing with the Thoughts of a Colored Man.
Yeah.
To have 7 black men starring on Broadway, that was the first time it ever happened. And but we really did, from them starting on Broadway to even the people who own the merch company was a black man. You know what I mean? So it was like we were trying to make opportunities in every area that there had not been opportunity. So it's a blessing to keep it going. I want to say shout out to my boy, Brian Moreland, producer extraordinaire.
Okay.
He is the one who brought me on to Thoughts of a Colored Man, and we are continuing to work together. And he's the one that brought me in. Oh, and Todd this time around. Todd is a part of it too. But he brought us in to work with them for piano lesson.
Well, congratulations. That's huge.
Yes!
I'm excited for you.
I was like, listen.
I'm excited for you.
What?
Listen.
Praise the Lord,
You're
okay?
inspirational. You hear me? I mean...
Trying to keep it going.
You doing it. And you look amazing while you do it.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm telling you,
Thank you. It's a dream. It's a dream. I mean, you know, every time I feel like I'm getting to a different level of part of the dream that I always wanted to do, I just get so excited.
Well,
I'm
like,
really
what's
excited.
left though? What is
What
it?
do you mean?
What is
I
it?
have so much left to do.
What is it? Give me just one thing that you still aspire to do that you haven't done.
Okay. My overall goal is to get the EGOT. Emmy, Grammy,
okay.
Oscar, Tony.
Okay.
It is no secret.
Okay.
That is my goal.
It's something about this chair, because Bevy Smith, that's her goal to be an EGOT.
Oh, really?
That is her
Oh, I love
yes,
her.
Yes. Yes, please tell me the EGOT plan.
My EGOT plan is I'm going to win an Emmy for my daytime talk show. That's very easy.
Okay.
Like, I feel like, okay, I can do that.
You're right.
I can get that done.
You're right.
I'm going to win a Grammy for the reading of my audio book.
Okay. This is coming this year. Okay.
Right.
So we got to get prepared for that.
Right. I'm going to get an Oscar because I'm going to do 15 minutes of an amazing performance in the film, a Best Supporting Actress Oscar, so that's going to be amazing.
I love that one.
Yes. And then I'm going to get a Tony from my one-woman show called God, Grown Ass Woman. That's how I'm going to get my Tony.
I love it. I love it.
Well, listen, it is definitely my goal. You know, your girl Whoopi has already done it.
Yes, she has.
But it's not many people who've done it.
Yes.
And there are especially not that many people of color who have done it.
True.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it spans a person's whole career to be able to accomplish something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, I got the Grammy when I was much younger, obviously, but, you know, to get that Emmy, that Oscar, that Tony, you have to be kind of like in all fields.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know, you can put speak on it in for an Emmy.
I can?
Yeah. You just do it for daytime television.
I didn't know that.
This show, I put it in.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have original songs, so we're in for original song and best host.
Are you serious?
Seriously. Now,
That's
I ain't even got
awesome.
nominated, but I put it in for it. But
Well, that's awesome. I mean, yeah.
So I'm telling you, because that was the one thing about Bevy. Bevy was like, so what I'll do is I'll get a Grammy for reading my book. You know, because she knows she can't sing. Like, she has each way of how to get all
no, it's
that.
so funny because I said I was doing the same thing, that I was going to go through and figure out every way that I could qualify. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I know that I can be a producer on something. I know that I can write songs. I know that I can sing songs. I know that I could, you know, act. I know that I could, you know, whatever. It's like you have all these different things that you can do. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that we could put speak on it, because I'm definitely going to do it.
Listen, put it in there.
When's the
best
deadline?
talk show? Well, it is already passed for this year, but for next year.
No, for next year.
Yeah. But when was it? I can't remember. But it was like early spring. Yeah, it was early spring. So yeah, for sure. So yeah, we look forward to it.
That's awesome.
So anything else you want to share with us, Kandi, that you got? I mean, I feel like we went through a lot of it.
I feel like we went through a lot too.
I enjoy you. I'm getting to know you. I've known Cynthia a little bit. I've known Kenya a while. I've known since I lived in New York.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was doing her hair back before I even moved here, actually, when I lived in Virginia. So I've been here for 9 years. So I've known Kenya for a minute. And Cynthia I met along the way. But I'm getting to know you. I met you at the restaurant when we came.
You are so drunk from this peach cobbler bread pudding that we're having at OLG.
Yes.
We do wish you were here, but we're glad you weren't, because it was more for us. So if you're here,
in Atlanta, make sure you come here.
You better.
Yes. Can I tell you, we here with Aunt Nora.
Aunt Nora.
And there go
Yes, that was awesome. I was so excited when y'all came.
And I was like, she was like, I want some soul food. And I said, let me call Cynthia and see if Kandi got the
I was so appreciative. That was so cool to have y'all come by Old Lady Gang. Like, I could not believe Whoopi was at Old Lady Gang.
And had a ball and loved the food. She was like, the food is so good, Derek, take me on live. I got it, so don't worry, I'm gonna put it in this edit and let everybody see it. So yeah, the food was amazing. We had such a good time. And your aunts were amazing. We loved Nora and all of them.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh my God, it was so fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much again for doing this. You didn't have to do it, but I appreciate you so much for coming by. And please make sure you go to her YouTube channel, watch Speak on It. Make sure you get your tickets together for Piano Man on Broadway coming
Piano lesson.
Set me straight. Piano lesson.
Yes.
Coming this fall. And Housewives of Atlanta.
Make sure you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14. Make sure you watch A La Carte. Make sure you watch The Shy. Wait, I don't know if if the finale of the Kandi and the Gang hasn't come yet. Watch Kandi and the Gang. I don't know.
Just watch all things Kandi.
Come on.
Follow her.
Catch me on Amazon Live every other week.
I'm tired. All right. Thank you so much for watching.